You're listening to the BOTB Football Show with TJ Weber.
Let me tell you something. I'm on fire. You better listen to me. If you want to win this week, listen to TJ Weber.
Zach Zook.
I think that they're going to come out and just absolutely shit rail the Eagles.
Big Webb.
Where's the beer?
And Nick Yale.
God, that was huge.
And there's the mics. Welcome in to Cafe Telegraph,
Hey,
2650
nice.
Telegraph
Hey,
Road.
boys.
What's up,
Hey,
everybody?
Why is there only one camera?
Well, I tell you what, we
look at
did a
this.
little upgrading, Zook. We did a little upgrading is what we did.
Yeah.
Wow.
We can see Nick's beard in all the more detail
I
now.
know.
I don't know if that's good or not.
It's
It's
TV
kind of
difference,
dirty.
baby. High definition, baby. I like the panel. You can see us all lined up here.
Yeah, it's
Lines
kinda
in the
neat.
way. This is nice.
I actually kind of dig it.
And we're not getting, allegedly, we're not getting chipmunk voices on the Facebook feed. So,
Well, it's early,
so
Nick.
far, so good.
It's
Also,
early.
I heard that wasn't a thing for everybody. I think it just maybe depended. Because
Just iPhone users?
I had
Apple only.
some reviews that they said it
I got a
sounded
new
like
phone.
it for maybe a minute or two, but then it didn't.
They were good to
sound
go.
like that the whole time,
Interesting.
so.
Actually, Frank Roberts
Yeah, I don't
said
know.
we broke a window at his house.
That's
Nice.
tough.
That's how high the voices
That's
were.
a tough beat to go. How you boys doing, though?
What?
How you boys doing?
So what?
Week 3.
It's
Like, good
good.
stuff.
Everything's good, man.
Good
Everything's
start.
good.
Big Webb's listening. What? Hello?
What are you talking about?
He has got his coffee. He's ready to go.
Well, we're here at Cafe Telegraph, 2650 Telegraph Road. Thank you for everybody joining in here on Facebook Live. Can't thank you enough for joining in on the BOTB Football Show. And, guys, big week 3 coming up. I tell you what, it's been interesting so far this season. Let's just say that. But, you know, through the first 2 weeks, you can never know exactly what you're going to get from the NFL season. There's so many different things that happen, so much parity. And, you know, I'm interested to see where everybody kind of settles here in week 3.
I mean, I'm feeling good. Week 3, my Jagwagon already finished the job on Thursday Night Football behind the Mustache Magician. So it's it's a good week for Nick so far.
Things are crazy starting out. I mean, you know, with all the drama of Antonio Brown, et cetera, plus all the injuries that have happened in the last week.
So many injuries.
This season is starting out crazily and
Crazily? Is that a word?
Crazily, it
I
is. Look
enjoyed
it
it.
up.
Yeah,
Look it
go
up.
ahead.
Nice.
Crazily.
But yeah, it's nuts, and every season is kind of unknown the first 3 weeks, but this season especially.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I think we've had how many 4 or 5 QB changes already,
Oh,
either due
so
to
many,
benching
yeah.
or injury.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I think every starting quarterback is getting injured. Like half the
No,
league,
I mean,
it
the
seems like.
fantasy waiver wire is just hot on QBs
I mean,
right
Sam
now.
Darnold, basically, it's a humble brag. He's kissing girls. Like, good for him. He's a kisser.
You'd think
you
Trubisky
know.
would be that guy.
is that a
That's-
brag,
that
though?
we
Because
got-
that's like a middle school ailment.
Middle school. The fact that he gets it when he's in his mid-20s.
What
You know what, though?
25-year-old has gotten
This is
mono?
how future quarterbacks are born, though. The opportunity to get in there and make some plays and prove yourself for future. So maybe we're seeing some diamonds in a rough here.
Trevor Siemian already done for the season. I mean, but Luke Falk, he's getting his opportunity there in New York.
Good luck,
You
Nick.
think Luke Falk's going to cover 22.5 today?
Which Wazoo quarterback is better?
Maybe he could. He could.
Again, we're live from Cafe Telegraph, 2650 Telegraph Road. Come on down. We'll be here all day watching football. We got a lot of things brewing, not only in the noon games, but the 3 o'clock games as well. So come on down, get some buckets of beer, and get some fantastic smoked meats. I tell you what, the smoked par fried wings are my favorite. On the side, you get the sweet chili sauce, and you're in heaven. You're in absolute heaven with a cold beer, and you're right. It doesn't get much better than that. We also have some other fantastic sponsors. K. Roberts from Remax Gold, Family Finance Mortgage. Dad, you know about them two, obviously.
I sure do. Let's start out with Sarah from Family Finance Mortgage. This lady takes her time with you. She checks out your situation, what you're doing with your house, what you need your money for. She'll sit down, find out your needs, take her time, and get you covered with great service. That's Family Finance Mortgage. Sarah, 314-537-1282. That's Sarah Barron, 314-537-1282, familyfinancemortgage.com. And also, K. Roberts from Remax Gold, 314-409-4113. You know, last week we talked about Kay and how she gets your house ready when you're in a selling position. Let's talk about Kay Roberts real quick during the contract situation. Like when you get your final notice, closing documents, she'll comb through there. Hey, this fee's too high. Where's this? What's this fee all about? And she really walks through and makes sure you're getting taken care of. So she does a good job all the way across the board. Can't recommend her more highly. K. Roberts, Remax Gold, 314-409-4113.
Also, shout out to another great sponsor, STL Distillery, St. Louis Distillery. You can find them online at stldistillery.com. They have a fantastic product, a lot of great spirits that we have had, but also a new vodka called Brew Vodka, BRU. And Nick, it's distilled
really good.
from craft beer. It's smooth
really
as
good.
hell, and it's super affordable at $19.99 a bottle. So you can obviously go in there as well to STL Distillery. Go in there and tell them you heard about them.
It's a cool place.
It is great. And
TJ and I got to go check it out with Steve, and he showed us around, gave us a little tour of the place. Really neat place.
Yeah, I really want to go.
And told us
We
all
did
about
a-
the distilling process there.
We need to set up a happy hour because Stanley called me. He wants to go up there.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
might not be invited. I don't know.
2-shot limit for Stanley.
Yeah, he I mean, he would be
I'll
one
drive.
Of their, he'd be one of their best customers, though.
Oh, my
Definitely.
God, yeah.
You can find them at 755 Friedens Road. That's Friedens Road, Suite B in St. Charles, Missouri. And again, if you go in there and you say, hey, we heard about you on Brews in the Balcony or the BOTB football show, you not only get a free tour, but you get a free tasting as well. So why not go over there? Once again, it's 755 Friedens Road. I tell you what, these people are also just great individuals and fun to be around. Nick, on their website, you go to stldistillery.com.
This was a massively funny Easter egg that they put in there.
It asks you if you're 21 years of age or not. And if you're not, you press no, it takes you to nickjr.com.
I'd love to see it.
Hilarious.
Love to
It's
see
a
it.
link that goes to nickjr.com.
That's
so pretty
a nice
awesome.
little play in there.
Beautiful.
Nice little play.
Shout out to all of our great sponsors. So, guys, here we go into week 3. As we mentioned, every single week, so everybody is kind of aware, in case you're like, oh, I saw a different spread. All of our picks for the show are
How'd that
against the
go?
spread. What's that? Oh, we got another website. It's not the same
website.
spread. Oh, I'm cool. No, but it's all oddshark.com is what we use. All the picks against the spread, obviously. So in case people are confused, that's what we do. We like to put that out there. Guys, let's get into storylines right away. The biggest one that literally broke probably an hour ago, Antonio Brown comes out and says that he is done in the NFL. He has had a lot of stuff going on. There are investigations going on with him. We won't get too much into it, but a possible alleged sexual assault, 2 sexual assaults actually, allegedly. Your thoughts on Antonio Brown's saga, him being released by the Patriots, him kind of jumping around from the Raiders to the Patriots, now a free agent, now saying he's not going to come back to the NFL. What are your reactions?
Well, let me jump in here first. When he went to the Patriots, we said if anybody can straighten him out, Belichick can. Okay, so Bill analyzed the situation very quickly within 1 week of practice, realized this guy was going to be a disruption outside, and said bye-bye. I mean, you're not going to fit the mold, just like any boss would do with any company. You can be as great as you are on the field, but you got to be able to do it off the field and represent the team properly. Bill saw it, sent him packing. I don't know. Bill's a big key in this league. Will other owners, will other management, will other coaches bring this guy forward? I think so because he's so good on the field. But who wants that disruption to shake up their team and shake up their whole organization?
Yeah, I have his Twitter pulled up. He said, we'll not be playing in the NFL anymore. These owners can cancel deals, do whatever they want at any time. We will see if the NFLPA hold them accountable. Sad they can just void guarantees anytime going on 40 mil, 2 months. We will see if they pay up. And he's still kind of going rogue on Twitter this morning, tweeting some other things, or retweeting rather, some other things out. So yeah, it just doesn't look too great for him right now. I think the Patriots probably made the smart move in passing on him just from a team distraction standpoint. Like I said, he's got all the off the field issue stuff that's going on that's still unresolved with the NFL and his legal battles and stuff like that. But probably smart of the Patriots, a great wide receiver and a great talent for the NFL, but definitely got to get his off the field stuff taken care of, and probably smart of the Patriots for passing on this one.
It's a tipping scale. Your talent, what you bring to the team, has to outweigh the problems you cause. And as long as that scale is tipping more towards the good than the bad, you'll get another chance. I think the NFL's proven that no matter what you've done. That's why he's gotten a chance to go on the Pats after being released from the Raiders. But I think the most interesting part about this is the grievance he's going to file with the money. I mean, staying away from the sexual assault, obviously, we're not going to get into that, speculate one way or the other. But I don't think he's going to get anything back from the Raiders because he didn't play a single game with them. And they gave him multiple chances. And the history there, it's going to be hard for him to get any of the money back. It'll be interesting to see with how the grievance goes with the Patriots, because the Patriots played him a game and knew about the sexual assault, misconduct, the alleged crime when they signed him, so or soon thereafter, and didn't release him. In fact, dressed him for the game at Miami. So it'll be interesting to see. I know that the guarantees are voided because of conduct detrimental. So I know for precedent, Trent Richardson got 20% of his grievance back. I would anticipate AB wouldn't get that much.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out. I mean, I hope that whatever happened or that it gets figured out, that justice is served either way. Like I said, I don't want to speculate, obviously, in a tough situation like that. But hopefully AB also, I think in his own mind and his own self, can get better as a person.
Yeah.
I think he's gone through a lot of stuff, but I think he's also, he's been very petty with things. And
I mean, you see what he's doing on social media. And
he's a clown.
You also have to look at what the Patriots were before they added Antonio Brown. In that game against the Steelers, how well they played.
They were just fine.
How well they played. And it was my speculation last week that, bringing Antonio Brown, as great of a talent as he is on the field, into that environment with Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, as fundamental as they are and how they carry themselves, that it would be more of a distraction. And they've already shown that against the Steelers, against a good team that had Big Ben, that they can perform at the highest level, even maybe better than they have in previous seasons with this team they have and the wide receivers they have. Plenty of good wide receivers there. They showed that. I mean, Julian Edelman is in pure form right now. So even without him, I think they'll be just fine and probably even better off without having that off-the-field distraction that they have to worry about and answer to every week in and week out, because all the questions for Bill Belichick were nonstop Antonio Brown. I know he got tired of that real quick, said his piece about him and said, I'm not answering any more questions. And then in that press conference before Miami, every single question was about Antonio Brown. And then he said, I'm done. And
he literally left the interview.
Walked out.
I mean, that's who Belichick is, though. He's a football guy.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to
brings
worry
in
about
a
that
talent.
stuff.
He sees talent, and he says, if you're going to mess up, we're going to get rid of you. If you have anything that is going to mess with, the livelihood or the chemistry of this locker room in the long run, we're going to get rid of you.
The feng shui.
And that's how he is.
Just like any pro sport. I mean, these guys are millionaires. A lot of coaches don't have control of the locker room because these guys are millionaires, and Belichick does, and it's because of moves like this. Like knocking Antonio Brown out. Now he's got control of his locker room again, and he's going to keep it. He's just that kind of guy.
Well, and to Nick's point, too, what's the receiving touchdown on the receiving end of Tom Brady's touchdown passes up to now? Like 74?
Yeah.
Like, they'll be fine.
Yeah, they're covered.
Yep.
Let's go to some comments. Laura chimes in, nicely said, Big Web. So like the Big Web's comment.
Yeah,
You go.
Thank you, Laura.
Big Web homer, Laura's.
Blake comments and said, just glad I have Josh Gordon, who is a clean, upstanding citizen, who has had no problems and would be a great wide receiver for the
Great
Pats.
wide receiver. So far, so good in 2019 for Josh Gordon. We'll give
Way
it
to go, Blake.
I'll give it another 2 or 3 games. I think we said our over/under. We set it at like 6 for until Josh Gordon's in trouble.
Hey, he's still there.
He's still
going
there,
into
though.
week 3.
Going into week 3.
And I heard his fantasy prowess now is going to be
His
just skyrocketing.
His outlook is just
because of
going
Antonio
way
Brown
up,
being gone.
going
Well,
way up.
last Sunday against the Dolphins, Brown had double the targets than Edelman had. So they were focusing on Brown. I look for the Pats to pick somebody else up because remember they traded Demetrius Thomas, right, when they picked him up.
Demaryius Thomas.
I don't know
They
who
straight up
Demetrius Thomas
Well,
is.
that's his
they
brother.
did trade him.
I got
They
him
traded
mixed
him.
up.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
It was twin brother, wide receiver. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same exact guy.
twin brother.
Let's move on to another storyline. So, we kind of talked about it and joked about it already. The fact that these quarterbacks dropping like flies, man. Big Ben, Drew Brees, Sam Darnold.
Cam Newton.
And then you also have now an interesting
Foles.
situation in this week where you have Gardner Minshew just tearing it up for the
Gardner
Jacksonville
snake.
Jaguars. And
The mustached magician.
you now have Daniel Jones coming in, making his first start for the Giants today. So the quarterback situation in the NFL is just completely crazy
I
right
tell
now.
you what, I'm excited about Minshew Mania down there in Jacksonville because
Make that a hashtag. Is that already a hashtag?
Minshew Mania, yeah, it's getting going. I started the mustache magician though, so I like that one. Kind of like Fitzmagic, but a little bit different. I'm going as Gardner Minshew for Halloween. I've ordered my Gardner Minshew jersey. I'm all about the Gardner Minshew train in Jacksonville. It's going to be interesting to see for the Jaguars what they do. Zook and I were talking about this before the show when Nick Foles comes back because he's supposed to be, it was only supposed to be a 4 to 6 week injury. And what I've been hearing is that they're going to, just prolong it and be very vague about the injury until, Gardner either screws up and then they can bring Foles back in, or they're just going to ride with him.
Yep.
Foles is a career backup, and that's just
which is unfortunate.
It is. He's a great player, but it's just kind of one of those things that fits his mold, and he does well in that arena, and he performs when he gets on the field. Absolutely.
Well, and because of the age thing, too, I would say, from a GM perspective or a coaching perspective, Minshew has a chance to be your future at the position, whereas Foles, you had brought him in to maybe give you a couple years with that core defense while they're on those rookie deals.
Right, yeah. And,
Absolutely.
as far as the other QBs go, Breeze is banged up. From a fantasy perspective, it's
tough.
atrocious.
And we're in a 2 QB league.
We're
in
in a 2
BOTB
QB league.
Yeah. That is almost impossible.
Carson Wentz, on my team is banged up. He's still playing. He's hurt. Deshaun's getting banged up, gets sacked like 6 or 7 times a game. I don't know how long he can last for. And you got older QBs like Tom Brady is 42 years old, and he's one bad hit away from being done for the year. Cross our fingers that he's not, but the QBs are dropping.
Can anybody
like
on this
flies.
panel name the backup for New England now? Brian Hoyer's not even on there anymore.
Jared Stidham.
Yeah.
Auburn.
You
Bill
could have
Belichick's nephew.
You could have said, TJ, here's $1,000. You can have 100 guesses. I still wouldn't have never named it.
I don't know.
No idea.
We did that franchise league where we draft rookies, so I knew of him. And my buddy Joe is a big Pats guy, and so he drafted him.
Here's a crazy stat. You talk about Deshaun Watson with the Texans. I saw the other day where I think that they have gone like 18 straight games, giving up at least 4 sacks.
Yeah, it's so bad.
It's insane.
Their
It's
offensive line is brutal, and he's just getting, destroyed night in and night out. And, I guess it was in the Saints game when he kind of got turned up and fell on his back and was out for a couple plays. And, he came back in, but these guys are one bad hit away from, being done for the year. And you've already seen what happened to Big Ben. His career is probably over. And then going to Eli, or switching from Eli to Daniel Jones, Eli's career is probably done. So you're seeing like the transition from a lot of these older QBs to the younger QBs now.
Man, I'll tell you what, a lot of us are very, very happy to see this Daniel Jones move. I've been wanting Eli Manning out of the league for, 4 years now?
Yeah, something like that.
And finally, Giants fans across the country are going to be screaming for this. This is beautiful. Hopefully this guy can perform and make it happen, because Eli certainly was kind of at the end of his thing. He won some Super Bowls early and did real well early in his career, but I think they drug that on quite a long while.
Oh, when you win 2 Super Bowls for a franchise, though, you're going to stay around for as long as you want, technically.
Sure. That's money. That's
until
money.
You really suck, which he does now. So.
Absolutely. But, I think Shepard's back this week. I think they might be able to make some stuff start to happen in New York.
Well, and Saquon is, just a monster of a running back, probably one of the best, if not the best in the league, between him and Zeke and Todd Gurley. And
defense is just keying on him, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Like,
and that's why they really need to open up that passing game. But if they can do that, all of a sudden the Giants become a nice dog pick in a lot of weeks where they're not going to be favored.
Sure.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I got one quick question before you move on.
For sure.
Is he a Hall of Famer? Because that debate's getting started now.
Yeah, it's...
If you
if he would have ended it, 5 years ago, yes.
I don't think so either. But the fact that he won 2 Super Bowls instead of 1,
got to think about it.
He's also top 10 in passing yards. He's top 10 in touchdowns too. He's in top 10 with a lot of passing categories. Because he's been in the league forever. That's why.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's a Manning too. That helps things too. The last name helps a lot.
But hanging
really
around
does.
so long, that tarnishes it, doesn't it? Doesn't it a little bit? You tried. Hey, I loved the past. I loved memories of. It was great, but man, he hung on too long.
How many Super Bowls does Peyton have?
1.
Yeah.
He's got 2.
He's got 2. So
one with the Colts, one with the Broncos.
He's going to be a Hall of Famer. So
But that's Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning's like top 3 of all time.
Best regular season QB ever.
Top 3 of all time.
Probably the best regular season QB ever.
Where would you rank your top 3 NFL quarterbacks? And this is tough for me, Zook, and Nick especially, because we never saw Montana.
You can't really speak on like Joe Montana.
Well,
and
you
Dan
guys,
Marino and those
Bradshaw
guys.
was huge.
And Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah.
Bradshaw was unbelievable. Montana was fantastic.
I think Montana definitely has to be in there.
Brady's
number 1.
To me, it's Brady's 1, Manning's 2 in my lifetime, from what I've seen.
In your lifetime?
I would put Brady ahead of Montana for sure. But
does anybody beat Brady?
Bradshaw, he had the receivers. He had it going on, man.
So you're saying Brady 1, Montana 2?
Yes. And probably I'd probably put Brady. You got to put Brady ahead of Bradshaw also. But man, they had it going on. It was a dynasty back then.
Yeah.
Both sides of the ball, really was.
That's a good debate, though, whether Eli's a Hall of Famer or not. I never really thought about that, but he won 2 Super Bowls. I mean, the guy's been in the league forever, so I don't know, possibly.
Nick chimes in. He said Eli is not a Hall of Famer. 500 career record. Never was a top 10 QB in a single season.
Agree, Nick.
Agree.
I'm going to say if I had to put money on it, he's not going to be a Hall of Famer, but I wouldn't be shocked if he kind of weasels his way in there.
Weasels his way in there.
Kind of weaseled his way into 2 Super Bowls. So,
Isaac Bruce.
He's got the pedigree. He's got the pedigree, man. He's got the Manning name, like you said.
I'm telling you. Last thing I got for headlines. So I want you guys to go over the 2-0 teams so far. Who are the strongest? Who are the worst? And who's going to stay undefeated? So you got the Patriots, the Bills, the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Cowboys. Ravens and Chiefs both play each other today, obviously. Did I miss anybody? Is it just those?
Zook talked about this
5.
on the midweek show.
Packers are 2-0.
And the Packers. Okay, so there
Bills?
you go.
You get Bills?
I
You
got
said
the Bills.
Bills,
Yeah.
Niners, Patriots, Packers.
You got 3
Yes.
in the NFC West. You have the 49ers, the Seahawks, as well as the Rams.
Correct. So what do you
Seahawks.
guys think about which teams are strong, which teams are fakes right now?
I mean, I'm with Zook. If you listen to the midweek show, Zook talked about the 49ers being a faker. I mean, because you see what they've done behind Jimmy G in the first 2 weeks, playing a couple of weak teams and the Buccaneers. And who was their other one against?
Cincy.
Against Cincy, yeah. And so once they start facing the Seahawks and the Rams and the Cardinals, I mean, even the Cardinals, I think, could give them trouble. Kyler Murray is, I think, a little bit underrated right now in what he's done through the first 2 weeks. So the 49ers still have a lot of tough games on their schedule that they have to play. So I think they're a little bit of a faker, but I definitely think the Patriots are for real. I think the Packers are for real as long as Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy.
Yeah, that's the big question because
And the
he's been
Bills.
hurt the last couple of seasons. I think the Bills are kind of pretenders, although I do think the Bills have a chance to be 8-8, 9-7, because when you looked at that division, you knew between the Jets and the Bills, one of the 2 teams was going to take a big step forward in the second year with their rookie quarterback. I actually thought that was going to be the Jets, but now they're on their 3rd string quarterback, and the Bills are 2-0, so it's looking like it's going to be the Bills. So I don't think they'll make the playoffs. The AFC's top-heavy. I don't think it's that top-heavy, but I think the Bills and the 49ers are probably the pretenders out of the bunch. Obviously, you have the Blue Bloods, the Rams, the Pats, the Chiefs, that they're going to be there at the end.
I think Ravens and Chiefs today is going to be a fantastic game. Now, we'll get to the picks in a little bit because it is one of our 4. Dad's a little worried about Mother Nature.
Oh, my God.
The rain's coming into play today for a lot of bettors out there.
Yeah, no, she's messing with us this morning for sure, Mother Nature. Basically, as far as 2-0 teams go, Dallas, I think, is your most solid team right now. In my mind, they're solid on both sides of the ball. They have healthy lines. They have big, strong lines on both sides of the ball. I agree. I think the San Francisco's kind of a pretender. I think Buffalo's got a lot to prove next week because they're at New England. Or I'm not sure where the game's at, but those 2 play each other. So that's going to be interesting right there to see what happens. But, yeah, I think Dallas is your most solid 2-0 team.
Well, and you look at Buffalo, too, behind Josh Allen, what he's done this year. I mean, Buffalo is not getting enough credit for what they've done so far this season. And that's a team that can sneak in there, and cause some trouble later in the season, especially once you get into November games, December games, and you have the inevitable Blizzard game in Buffalo
Yeah.
because everybody knows it's going to happen. Don't make that fantasy mistake when it's the Blizzard game and play the wide receivers that are playing in Buffalo because it's going to be all ground and pound attack. And Devin Singletary, as a rookie, has looked pretty solid in the run game for Buffalo after they passed on LaShawn McCoy, who's now with the Chiefs. So Buffalo is the Bills Mafia is gonna let people know that they are there, and they're gonna let them know and be loud and proud about their team because Buffalo could be a little bit of a sleeper.
So it should be fun. Let us know who you guys think the best 2-0 team right now is and who's the pretenders, who's going to go 2-2 maybe in the next couple weeks. We move on now. The pick standings. So not the panel, but we'll go to the pick standings and the Brews in the Balcony NFL Pick'em. Nick, we mentioned people can still join. You're a little bit behind.
They can, but it's
a little bit behind
you're,
now.
You're probably going to be playing catch-up.
It'd be an uphill battle at this point.
Yeah. I'd recommend you just kind of play for fun and maybe just pick against us for fun. I
Join
don't know.
us. Yeah, join us. Have some fun.
You got to make up 17 total picks, so that's a lot of picks. Mark Hessler leading the way coming into this week. 19 wins so far this year. He also got Jacksonville today, or I should say Thursday, so he's on top right now.
Shout out to Mark Hessler. He's a retired young man down in Florida, and he studies like 52 hours a week. He studies NFL.
There's actually a 3-way tie atop the leaderboard that I'm looking at.
You're looking at the wrong one.
Which one are you looking at?
Well,
how many points? 19?
19, 18, 17 is what I got.
I got Zach Solentrup and Joe Knoll are both tied with them at 19.
Now, you know what my app did, Nick? It didn't put them in order here.
Yeah,
19's down here.
So
you're right.
You gotta refresh that to put them.
What's going on
in
there?
order.
Okay,
So
yeah, that's my fault.
There's actually a 3-way tie atop the leaderboard.
Mark
It's all
Hessler there?
collusion.
Mark Hessler, Joe Knoll, and Zach Solentrup, who I am Zach from high school, who I'm hearing it from big time on the text line these days. Every week he says, Nick, if you want to if you have a good pick this week, here it is, and he gives it to me because he's been rubbing it in that he's atop the leaderboard because we have a side pool bet with another group of my friends. It's a brunch fantasy bet, and whoever
What's up with you and brunch? You really like brunch.
Whoever
He likes a little
wins. Whoever wins out of the 6 of us, 5-6 of us, gets to pick the menu, and then the bottom 2 people that lose in the pick'em and BOTB football pick'em have to cook the meal.
Oh, is that
So,
right?
yeah.
You can make a nice omelet for him? Or?
I don't know. I mean, he's atop the leaderboard right now. I think he said he wants his eggs flown in from France or something. So
nice.
It'll be a little bit of a work if I finish last. I'm right there in the middle though. I think how are we doing compared to the panel with the 4 of us?
Funny you should ask.
In the BOTB football pick'em.
So it looks like, obviously, too, right behind the leaders at 19, K. Roberts from Remax Gold, 18, Blake Stump, Jake Scott, Colby Wedwick, all with 18 apiece. If you look at me and Nick, we're right there.
Right
we
there,
both got 17,
baby. Yep.
Oh, you guys are both ahead of me?
Both
I had
got
16,
17.
and I was like, I'm only 3 behind. I'm
telling
doing
you,
well.
I'm second to last right now in the panel picks, but the overall picks, I'm right there, baby. I'm right there.
Zook's right there with 16, and then
I must have had a good week last week.
and
Because
then
week
there's
1 I
Big
sucked.
14. Big Web's got 14 down. So
Gentlemen, let me tell you, what we're trying to do here.
Slow start.
When the front runners get tired out in the front, Big Web's a closer, man. He's going to be coming from behind, just flying around the outside and beat you to the wire. Just wait.
Okay. Yeah, I'll hold you to that because
better every week.
Wait till we get to the panel picks. It's pretty rough.
Wait till we get to the cash. Wait till we get to the cash picks.
Okay, all right.
the cash
What
picks.
really means something.
Yeah. Well, like Big Web said,
He's trying to say our picks don't matter?
No, he said he was saying before the show that he's $45 up for the listeners on the bets that he has suggested.
That's right.
For the show, the plays that he's suggested, he is positive
he's
$45.
absolutely right. But the picks on the panel still matter
Yeah,
too.
that's what matters the
trying
most.
to say.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah.
while
it's
we're
who
on
has
this,
the
while we're on
crown
this
right
subject,
here.
while we're on this subject, so TJ pulls out of the pool
Nick.
the most competitive games and the ones that are most interesting, which are very cool. But as a bettor like I am, we go for the mismatches. We look for the odds. And
That
ends,
seemed
the
kind of
ones that
passive
are
aggressive
not,
there. He's
you know.
like, oh, like the big time games, it's cool and all, but like that, like a little like F you, bro, like
It's-
type
no,
thing.
I didn't say any F and any U. It's all
right.
good. And no, we'll watch and see what happens on those competitive
It's a
games. but
long season.
plus
boys.
45, baby. Plus 45.
It's a long season. There's a lot of football left to be played.
Nick, who's your top fantasy pickup of the week? Last week, I forgot who you had. You had Darren Waller week 1. I had
Darren
Tyrell Williams.
Waller.
Two pretty good picks.
I had some QBs.
You had Derek Carr. You
I
had
had-
T.J. Hawkinson.
I had T.J. Hawkinson.
You had a wideout.
Was that for this week? Were those for this week?
Those were for this.
This
yeah,
this
on the midweek
upcoming
show.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, as QBs go down, it's a little bit of a tough beat. I know I said Jameis, who's playing the Giants, and that they have the 30th ranked secondary in the league. So Jameis, who has had a tough couple of weeks, has a lot of great weapons. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, O.J. Howard, and their run game is okay.
Peyton Barber was pretty good last week, too.
Yeah, Peyton Barber, like I said, is okay. So their pass game has potential for sure. So if you need a quarterback on the waiver wire, Jameis is probably going to be available. And then I like TJ Hawkinson to bounce back and have a good game. I'm playing Jared Cook in one of my leagues just because I think the tight end, even with Breeze out, is still going to be a big-time target for Teddy Bridgewater in this week, and he's still one of the better tight ends in the league if you're looking for a tight end. Again, these are waiver wire picks. They're not guys that are already rostered in most of your leagues. If you're looking for a waiver wire guy, pick some of these guys up now. As we go deeper into the season, there's going to be less and less of them. Wide receivers kind of fluctuate because you got to base on matchups a lot of times. And really what people do is they don't make waiver wire acquisitions and just stash guys on their bench because maybe one week one of these guys has a bad matchup, but you can stash them on your bench for when they play Miami or when they play, a secondary that's really bad or a bad run defense. So there's a lot of these guys that you can look at, but I'm definitely picking Jameis, TJ Hawkinson, or Jared Cook this week on the waiver wire.
I usually don't chime in here, but I'm going to go ahead and say Seattle's defense. They're available in a lot of yearly leagues. If you have an opportunity to kind of get rid of one of your bench guys and throw your regular defense on the bench, Seattle. Again, Drew
they're
Brees
playing New Orleans,
not there. Yeah, but
Kamara is still going to.
It doesn't matter because Teddy Bridgewater has been playing. Nah.
Yeah, you're right. He's been first time he played since 2015.
Yeah, and he hasn't been great. So I mean, that's the thing that the defense is going to get to him, and it's on the road too. It's in Seattle. So.
Yeah, they're going to have a tough day today. They have been kind of nah. I agree with you.
Yeah, exactly right. That's the way I put it. There's no better way to put it. So
defense waiver wire pickups from TJ.
So while we're on New Orleans, real quick, my sleeper fantasy pick is this Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill.
Is he going to get enough
Number
snaps
7.
though? That's the thing.
Well,
yeah,
that's what I don't know about
that. They
that.
always put him in trick plays. They always put him in wherever, wildcat, quarterback.
Could have a receiving touchdown and a passing.
That dude today, I'm predicting 2 touchdowns out of him just because with Breeze down, I think they're going to shake things up.
Oh, bigger role. That's actually not a bad play, Big Web.
I like that.
You think they're going to split with Bridgewater? Or you think it's going to be more of
I think you're going to see some wildcat. I think the guy might be a receiver. You know how they play him.
Yeah.
They're going to try to shock the world
Honestly,
with this guy.
you talk about the wildcat. I think we're going to be seeing more of this wildcat come back. I know we don't get into college much on this show, but a lot of colleges are starting to do the wildcat again, and we've seen it a little bit in the NFL. Obviously, we saw it with Miami a few years ago really start the whole wildcat thing. But I'm thinking with some of these QBs going down, they're going to get creative and start lining up the running backs more in the wildcat.
Fantasy-wise, boys, I just got a couple more for you.
Sure.
Zach Ertz with Philly, because all the rest of the wide receivers are injured. I mean, they're going to be going to Ertz as a key man today. I also like Malcolm Brown with the Rams. They've been giving him the ball in the red zone a lot to score. And then the last one, Devin Cook against the Raiders.
Dalvin Cook.
What the hell?
Dalvin Cook.
Oh, shit, he changed his name.
That's another twin. It's another twin.
I got to start using last names. Cook with the Raiders.
Quit yelling. There's people in here.
With Minnesota. Because here's the deal. Here's why. The Raiders' defense against the run is very, very solid, but I think they're going to get the ball to him in space. I think they're going to get short passes and get him open, and Raiders' secondary is not their strong point, so
okay.
I like Cook to get some yards today.
All right.
Colby Wedwick says Teddy time, so he believes in Bridgewater today.
Teddy 2 gloves.
I don't know, man.
Colby's up there on the BOTB football pick 'em as well.
He knows what he's talking about, man.
He knows what he's talking about. He's in 4th right now with
For
18.
Fantasy, I got a DFS and a season long. I'm with TJ on the defenses.
I'm telling you.
I think maybe this past waiver wire they got picked up a lot.
Tell me San Francisco.
Get the Green Bay defense for season long.
It's not San
They're
Francisco.
going up against the Broncos today at home. I anticipate they'll do well against Joe Flacco and a not very high octane offense with Denver. Next couple weeks might be rough because I think they got the Cowboys coming up and another tough game. So you may have to weather the storm or find a couple of streamers to put in. But season long, I think that they'll be a top 10 defense in fantasy. For DFS, like Big Web was saying, I think if you can get him at a discount, I don't know what the price is, but because he's been down the first 2 weeks, Mike Evans, I think, would be a good value.
Yeah.
Because they're going up against the Giants, who have an absolutely terrible defense, like you were saying, Nick.
It's going to be an air raid for Jameis today.
Yeah, Jameis should have a pretty good day, and I think Mike Evans will get back on track.
All right. There you go. Fantasy pickups. And now we get to the time that Nick's been waiting for. We hate to do this.
We
it's
love
one of my
to do
favorite
this. This
segments.
is our favorite
It's going to be my
time of
favorite
the
segment when I take it
show.
over. But presentation, Nick.
Same time of the show.
Congratulations.
I can't wear it. Just gotta
Get it on your big
all
melon.
Bow down. All
The crowd goes
bow
wild for
down
Nick.
to me. Thank you. Good to be here again. All you losers that took the Miami Dolphins and put them as your lock, are you just ashamed? We knew the Patriots were going to come out and whoop them again. It wasn't even close. Big Web rode the Pats with me, and so we won. Nice job.
One of Big Web's buddies had Miami actually plus 31 and still lost.
Yeah.
So even
It's
if you teased him, you got killed.
I teased them.
it's
I
the
teased them. I just
easiest
needed to
money.
cover 26,
It
and
was
they
the
didn't do it.
easiest money. And then the lock on Monday Night Football, the Brownies, everybody said coming in, Browns are going to be AFC champions. They shit the bed in week 1. They come back in week 2 with a dominant performance on Monday night against the Jets and just, wreck them. And it's easy. Baker didn't even have a good game, but that Browns defense came to play. Granted, they were playing against Luke Falk and after they knocked out Trevor Siemian, but overall, just great performance by me in week 2. Happy to be here.
Look, you
happy
get
to
off your high
defend my
horse. It's literally
title.
2 weeks of the season.
And
You're so
but
early.
I'm 2-0 in my locks. I'm 2-0 as the king, and you guys are all bowing down to me. So I will enjoy it while I can.
Ladies and gentlemen, next week you won't have to put up with that. Tell you what, we're going to
Yeah, you
roll
will.
past this guy.
Yeah, unfortunately, Nick with a big week last week. Once again, he's now 8-5 overall on the season, and leading the way. Last week was 4-3.
Standing
And we have a
ovation in
crown counter. He's now has 2 crowns on the year in 2 weeks. Not great for the rest of us.
We got to get a graphic for the crown counter.
We got to get a graphic. I'm trying to put this one up. This is
a good
it's all
start.
about. I'm trying to find. There we go.
It's
There's
a
the graphic I
marathon,
was
though.
looking for.
Like Big Web said, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So
Exactly.
inevitably, there will be weeks where I am not king, and you don't have to listen to me. Just be on my high
Mr.
horse.
Humble
So
here.
I'm getting it all out now because I know it's all downhill for me from here.
So Zook finishes out at 5-8. Actually, he's 5-8 overall. Was 3-4 last week. So right behind Nick, he was close. Myself and Big Web both 2-5. But as you can see, I'm still in a good spot at 4-9. Plenty of time. 2-11 is just rough.
And that's
just rough.
That's a BOTB difference as you
I love
as
Big
you
Web's
expand
picture.
it and it goes over the graphics a little bit. Yeah, Big Web rocking the shades.
Gotta love it. Ladies and
Gotta
gentlemen,
love it.
just
That's Vegas, baby.
in the NFL, you got to leave yourself room to improve, and I've started out just with that. It's perfect.
We need a weather report. What's the latest weather report? You're
We'll get there, we'll get there.
You're actively
I-
once
watching
we
this
get-
Kansas City game.
I am
Keep
all
it
over.
Once we get to the game, we'll do that. We'll do that for sure.
You
He's
just gotta
itching.
rein
He's-
everybody
he's
in.
itching.
As far as locks last week, so we talked about the obviously
Sorry,
Big
this is
Web
this
just
is a-
abysmal record. We'll get to his bets. We'll get to his bets.
2-11.
We'll get to his
Nuts.
bets in a second. But locks last week, I'm 2-0. I'm the only one in the panel with 2-0 on locks.
No,
Just remember
I'm
that
2-0.
you are not 2-0.
Yes, I am 2-0.
I thought you were 1-1.
No, I had Baltimore and Cleveland,
Oh
buddy.
wait,
I'm
no, I know what it
2-0.
is. I'm 2-0 on Thursday night. You're not.
Did you
Yes,
refresh
that's
the
what it
page?
is.
Correct.
Have you refreshed the page?
I did refresh the
Yes.
page. I'm 2-0. I had Green Bay last week. Zook loses with the Chargers. Rough game, rough finish
Lions,
That's
against
two.
the Lions.
That's 2-0.
Lions,
That's well,
baby.
not 2-0, but 2 for 2 on my locks. Just absolutely shitting the bed late.
I told you the Lions were going to win that game.
Speaking of shitting the bed late, I'll tell you right now, the Philadelphia Eagles have screwed me 2 weeks in a row. And you guys saw it, fourth down.
I'm never betting on the Eagles again.
Jones just frickin' whatever catches that ball, and they send the biggest
You're good.
lineman
It's
out to
explicit.
devour the cornerback, and here we go, 60 yards, and my pick goes to hell again within the last minute of the football game.
Yeah, well, you hate to see it. That's the way it goes.
That's
Sometimes.
just the way it
Oh, you
goes.
hate to see it.
Nick is 2-0 with the Browns. He got last week. Big Web obviously losing with Philly for the second week in a row. You going to go with them week 3?
Let me
Third
say
time's the
it,
charm?
Not no, but hell no.
Okay.
It's a no, but a hell no.
Stay tuned.
Carson Wentz, big week coming.
Before we get to the picks, Big Web, we have been giving you crap. What was the recap on your best bet last week? How'd you do?
Gentlemen, we had a 4-team teaser, which hit. It was a $50 bet.
Need a
It
ding, ding, ding.
collected $150, so we had a $100 profit. We were down $55 on the year, so we are now up $45 to the cash betting Big Web follower out there on Brews on the Balcony.
Well, there you go.
Hey, all right, so that's making money.
More to
you're,
come.
You're making
More to
our
come here
listeners money.
shortly.
Sue Barry says, congratulations, Nick.
Thank you, Grandma.
And then
Grandma. Hello, Sue.
And James Erickson, and before we get into our picks, this is actually a fantasy question. So he says, Connor, Lindsey, Gore, Barber, and Cohen need to full PPR.
Full PPR.
Again, it's Connor, Lindsey, Gore, Barber, and Cohen.
Well,
Pick
Connor
two.
for sure, right?
I don't know, man. I started him in my league, but
He's
I'm
the
scared.
best one.
He's the best one out of that pack for sure.
I would probably go Connor and Barber here, just because they're playing the Tampa Bay's playing the Giants. They're going to open up that pass game, and then he might hawk some touchdowns.
Yeah, Connor and then Barber. I'd even think Cohen maybe could get on track against the Redskins on Monday night.
I'm thinking
I can see that.
David Montgomery's going to have a big week for Chicago. So, but Cohen could sneak in one of those touchdowns. I would stay away from Gore. I'd stay away from Lindsey. They're splitting carries there in Denver, and Royce Freeman looks to be their lead back now through week 2.
So it looks like Connor and Barber's kind of the consensus.
Yeah,
then.
Connor
Let's go
and
with those
Barber.
two.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. All right, boys, let's get into it. So the picks, we have our top 4. If anybody's just now tuning in for the first time, you got our top 4 games we'll pick. Our toilet bowl game, we'll have our underdog pick of the week, and also our lock of the week. Gentlemen, this is the big one for Big Web especially, and we're actually going to bring him in for the weather report. Baltimore at Kansas City. Chiefs are -6.5, according to oddshark.com. I'll make sure the line did not move, but the last time I looked, that's where it was. Big Web, what's the status in Kansas City?
Gentlemen, I'm seeing – I wish we had somebody over there. Somebody from Kansas City, please chime in here. But I'm seeing mostly cloudy right now. In the last 20 minutes, it went from rain to cloudy to mostly cloudy. It's improving. The percentage of rain at 2 p.m. is 50% now, down from 70%. It's tough because you got the field. It's a grass field. It's wet.
It's a grass
You
field.
got a lot of slipping going on, but it's not raining anymore. We're not going to have wet balls. We're not going to have situations
What?
like that out there. You're not going to have any wet balls.
balls?
Okay.
It's not going to be that. Look who's in the house.
Big Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you what. Kansas City, it's starting to dry up. I want to go back to my initial prognostication with the over. We'll talk about that in a bit. That football game, I'll tell you what. Right now, you've got the quarterback, Mahomes, right here, that's got the ankle, but he can still have the maneuverability to get it done.
Now,
The-
real quick, don't
Nick.
pick it yet. I have
I'm not.
seen the line is moved.
Okay.
The
It is
line is moved.
-5.
The line is moved.
Right.
1.5. It's -5 now for Kansas City.
Right. But where I'm at on this football game is that the Ravens definitely have the run defense, but nobody has been able to stop the Chiefs yet, including the Jaguars, who have a good defense. The Chiefs will get it done. The Chiefs will score points, and the Ravens should be able to score on the Chiefs. It's just a matter of being able to keep up with them. I don't know. We'll pick it here in a minute, but I'm telling you right now, the weather is huge out there. And a half hour ago, I was like, okay, slipping and sliding. I'm going under, and looking more towards the Ravens, but now it's drying up, man.
It's drying up.
What do you do, Nick? What do you do?
I don't know. We'll see.
Nick, go ahead. Actually, let's go with Zook. We'll go down the line. So,
Okay.
Zook, your thoughts, your pick on the game. Kansas City now -5 at home.
Yeah, so from a gambling perspective, Big Web, I know you loved this throughout the week. When it gets like this and you just don't know what the weather's going to do and stuff's moving and there's a lot of variables, would not touch it with my money. But for the pick, I'm going to go ahead and stick with the Kansas City Chiefs. They were my pick during the week. When the weather kind of came into play this morning, I was thinking about going back towards the Ravens because whenever you get more weather, less points, therefore closer spreads. But in a game like this, I'll stick with the best team. I think the line actually moved in my favor too, right? You said it had moved from 6.5 down to what, 5?
Correct.
5.5?
It's now down to 5. Well, actually, yeah, it's down to 5 now because they're thinking, I guess, the weather could impact
Right.
Kansas City's pass game. But if it's not raining like Big Web's saying, that could help you with the 1.5.
So I'll stick with the Chiefs. Give me the better football team in the end. Big Web, I'm with you. They scored on Jacksonville's defense. I think they'll be able to get it done.
Here's a situation where the hype train on the Chiefs is giving them more points. Obviously, they are at home, so that's one big factor playing into the Chiefs' favor here. That's one of the hardest stadiums to play in all of sports. But Baltimore has looked really good through 2 weeks. Lamar Jackson is the real deal. Even if it does rain, Baltimore's run game is better, and the Chiefs' defense is not so great. So give me Baltimore +5.
Big Web?
So we got the Kansas City offense who's hasn't done well running game this year. It doesn't matter because they seem to get it done on short passes and deep passes. They can make it happen. They've already made it happen against the Jags, a solid run defense, and the Raiders, a solid run defense. Now they're up against Baltimore, another solid run defense. They're still going to get it done. They're still going to cover. Give me Kansas City in this football game. The question is the over-under, and I'm still going to answer that shortly.
Still going to answer that short.
Still trying to crunch the numbers.
I'm calling the over.
I hate to put Nick by himself because it's very dangerous for the leader to have a pick by himself, but I'm also going to take the Chiefs.
Love to see it, boys.
Especially that it's -5. The fact that, Dad, you're saying at the moment it's not raining, it's better if it's a wet field, but it's not raining itself. I think the ball won't be as slippery. I think Kansas City's receivers will be able to catch the ball more and move the ball. Baltimore will stay with them, but now that it's gone down 1.5, it makes me think Kansas City could win this game by a touchdown. I just have a feeling that they're going to win, hopefully by 7. That's where I'm going to go at home. So give me the Chiefs as well.
Every one of my sports teams has won this week for like the first time in forever. So I think that KC not being one of the rivals of my sports teams, hype train's too much on KC, man. I'm gonna win this one over you guys.
All right. I mean that's your opinion. And it's an opinion, all right.
Who's the leader? Who's 2-0? I think I can talk smack.
Okay, so we move on to the next one. Carolina at Arizona. Arizona plus 2.5 points. This was going to be interesting if Cam played, but he's out. I still kept it. So what are your guys' picks? I'm guessing we're all going to go Arizona, but it could be a change.
Has
what
the
do you guys
line
think?
moved at all?
At the moment, I have 2.5. Let's see if it has changed. Carry the 1. Do a little math. Nope, still 2.5.
Still 2.5. And it's in Carolina?
It's in Arizona.
In Arizona, okay.
I'll take Arizona, especially with Kyle Allen starting that game. I think I was going to lean in Carolina's direction because at the end of the day, I do think that they're a better football team than Arizona. But with the quarterback situation, give me the Cardinals. Cardinals at home, able to come back and get that tie at the game I was at. I think that stadium will be pretty rowdy still for Kyler Murray and that offense, and Larry Fitz is still doing the thing. So give me the Cardinals.
Yeah, I think, Zook, I need you to fly there to Arizona because I'm going with Arizona as well. They had a big game when you were there, like you said, against the Lions. And Kyler has shown some flashes of dominance in the early 2 weeks and in a limited sample size that we've seen him play. You had Baltimore where they lost, and then you had the tie against the Lions. So even though they don't have a win on their record yet, I think this is where he gets his first win. Give me Arizona plus 2.5.
Usually when Cam Newton's out of a football game, you go, oh, wow, they lost something. I think that Carolina's going to improve, actually, with them, but I'm still not picking them. Cardinals saw last week what Tampa did to Carolina and shut down McCaffrey. They're going to focus on McCaffrey again. Give me the Cardinals.
Yeah, again, this is a very, random and rare clean sweep for us, but I'm also going with the Cardinals. I was going to take the Cardinals even if Cam was in. I just think that the way they played at home against the Lions coming back in week 1 showed me a lot. I've been a huge Kyler Murray hater. I'm still not completely sold on him, but he's played a lot better than I expected. And I just think without Cam, a 2.5-point spread is, to me, laughable unless it's a team that's Miami or the Jets. I think anybody could cover that at home. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Cardinals as well. So, clean sweep here on the panel. Move on. Atlanta at Indianapolis. Indy is -2 points at home. What do you guys got?
I'm going to go ahead and take Atlanta for this. I had a question. So when we do our dogs later on, are you allowed to take a game that's one of the 4?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Me and Nick talked about this. So it's basically like you double down on a pick. You know what I'm saying? But you could get screwed. If they lose, you lose 2 picks.
Yes.
So,
okay.
Yeah,
that was my question. That's why I was kind of zoning out. I was trying to figure that out.
Because if it's a big-time game, like let's say you love Kansas City the most, just because it's a top game that we pick it, you should still be able to pick it. You know what I mean? Those rules would be kind of messed up, so.
Okay, so that being said, I love all the home favorites this week, except for in this game. I really do like Atlanta. This is an indoor game. I don't think the home field advantage in Indianapolis will impact the Falcons that much because they're used to playing indoors as well. They were able to get a big win on Sunday Night Football against the Eagles. That audible by Matt Ryan.
Great play.
Yeah, screen out to Julio. Give credit to the offensive lineman that went out and made that block.
Left tackle. Who was that?
Sorry, Big Web.
That was their first round pick. His name is
Jake Matthews, I think.
Jake Matthews.
Yeah,
just pancake.
Hell of a block, man.
Pancake.
What effort to get out in space by him. That was
Sure it was.
That made me horny. Anyways, Atlanta is it's basically a pick 'em because it's so small, the spread. So give me the Falcons.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Falcons here as well in Indianapolis. Zook made a lot of good points about that. They're only favored by 2, and I think it is more of a pick 'em. After what we saw Atlanta do on Sunday Night Football against the Eagles at home, I mean, the Eagles are a solid team, and Carson Wentz is a good QB. I mean, he's on my fantasy team. I only pick winners here. I've missed on Atlanta twice already this season. Week 1, I went with Atlanta, and Minnesota won. And then week 2, I went the Eagles, and Atlanta won. So hopefully Atlanta doesn't screw me here, and they get the win.
Atlanta pulled off an 11th-hour win last week, as we all know, but they had to have half the Philly team injured to do it. So Brissett, at the same time, has Indy's offense consistent. Give me Indy here. I'll take the Colts.
Again, I hate to put someone out on an island by themselves because it's very dangerous,
he's
but
2-11.
I'm also going to take the Falcons.
Here I am on
I
an island.
absolutely love the Falcons
Chance to
today.
win one.
I think that the Colts aren't going to be able to hang on. And again, it's that spread, man. It's that spread. I know Atlanta's been just kind of
Changes everything.
a weird team, but if it was 3.5, I would go Indy. Absolutely go Indy. But in this
Right.
situation, 2.5, Atlanta's going to win by a field goal, and I'm totally fine with that. So give me the Falcons, and we leave Dad alone with Indianapolis Colts,
Thank
which
you.
Out
again,
there
is
on an island.
always
Take it.
scary. So I think currently me and Zook actually have all the same picks, which is usually we're all different, but me and Zook have the same
normally.
picks. So there you go.
Well, the toilet bowl and the dog and lock will
Well, those will change it up.
favor
yeah.
it up, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Last one we got for the top 4 games. The Rams going to the Browns. The Browns are +3. This is a Sunday Night Football contest. Should be a good one. What do you guys got?
I'm going to go ahead and take the Rams. I was never as high on the Browns as TJ and Nick. Did you guys both have them in the Super Bowl, or did Big Web have one of them? I know two of us
I
had
had
them in the
Browns.
Super
I
Bowl.
had the
AFC
Browns.
Championship.
I had
Browns.
Browns in the Super Bowl
Browns.
at the beginning,
Okay, so
unfortunately.
you guys.
yeah.
So I was the lowest of all of us on the Browns. I really don't think they're that good. I think Big Ben going down certainly helps their prognosis in the division, because I think that basically takes the Steelers out of the division race. And unless Mason Rudolph comes in and does well, which from what I saw in the Seahawks game, he's got a little bit of life. I mean, similar to Gardner Minshew.
Mm-hmm.
Gardner Minshew stole the show, but Mason Rudolph was pretty good too. So while I do think that they're going to be around all season long, I still like the Rams. They have a turf field up in Cleveland now, which I think plays to the Rams' advantage. I'll take the Los Angeles Rams in that game.
I'm also going with Zook and the Rammies on this one. Cleveland is another one of these teams where you got to pick them week to week. Last week on Monday Night Football, it was a good pick. They were playing the Jets, but Baker Mayfield did not look good in that game. He did not look good through 2 weeks, and there's a lot of question marks around that Cleveland team. Defense, solid. I think it'll be more of a defensive battle in this one, but with Aaron Donald on that line, I'm just not sold on Baker yet. So give me Los Angeles -3.
Big Web?
I like the Rams here, guys. Also, I'll tell you what, on paper, Cleveland, we all fell into it preseason. Again, we bought into them 2 years in a row on paper and picked them to go all the way. And, we should start picking Super Bowl teams in week 4. But,
True.
No, I think the Rams are going to get it done. I do agree also it's going to be basically on the defensive side of the ball that they're going to outplay Cleveland. And give me the Rams.
Again, I hate clean sweeps. I think they're gross and disgusting and not fun, but I am also taking the Rams in this one. I think the Browns are a good team, but the spread is so low. I know Cleveland was rough in week 1. That's why it is so low.
Yeah.
But I just think the Rams is an easy pick. I mean, they just been rolling the way that they thought they would. A lot of experts are saying, I should say a lot, Matthew Berry, especially on ESPN, is saying Jared Goff is a terrible start this week. I love Jared Goff against Cleveland. So I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm in the minority that thinks the Rams are going to score 28 points to 30-something points against Cleveland.
Defense is no joke.
So we'll see what happens, but 3 for sure. It's going to be a touchdown game. The Rams are going to win it, so I'm going to take the Rams, and that's a heavy favorite for me.
Yeah, I think it's to be Rams. Rams defense is going to win. Is going to have a score and win them this game. I love Cleveland defense. I don't like Browns offense in this one though.
All right, so we move in now to the toilet bowl game of the week. The Giants head out on the road to the Tampa Bay Bucks. The Bucks are -6.5 points. Daniel Jones getting his first start in the NFL. You guys' thoughts on this game?
I went back and forth on this a lot. I had Tampa Bay at first, shifted it back. I've been flip-flopping a ton. In the end, I'm going to go with the Giants. Would not have gone with the Giants if they started Eli Manning in this game. I would have picked the Bucks, but I think that just the change will give the apathetic Giants enough of a spark to cover 6.5 points in this game. Jones is pretty athletic. I think you're going to see him move around a lot today and just instill some energy and some life into that offense. Like you said, if they can just get the passing game going a little bit, it would open up so much more for Saquon Barkley, who, against all the stacked boxes, is still producing. I mean, he's just incredible. So, I mean, wouldn't put any real money on it, but I do like the Giants to cover 6.5. We have to remember that the Bucs are still the Bucs. Jameis is still Jameis. He's liable to throw 4 or 5 interceptions at any time. So
I think I think you made some good points there about Daniel Jones and what he's going to bring to this Giants franchise. And I think that I'm in the same boat with you. I am going with the Giants here because of the quarterback switch from Eli to Daniel Jones. There's a lot of players in this game that have something to prove. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Jameis Winston, that whole Tampa Bay offense has something to prove. And they've had a tough 2 weeks, and so this is going to be the game where they do it. But the Giants, with Daniel Jones, I think it will give them a new spark. I think that passing game will open it up for Saquon, and I think they'll cover the 6.5.
Big Web?
Gentlemen, this game has everything to do with an off-the-field position. That's the position of Eli Manning's ass on the bench. Jones is going to make the difference. Give me the Giants all day long.
Clean sweep, gross. I'm also taking the Giants. I think, Daniel Jones in this situation, I think he's going to have a breakout game. And by breakout, he'll throw 2 touchdowns and
you
250
guys are just
yards
picking
passing.
all the same things I picked because I won last 2 weeks. So you're making it hard for me.
I mean, me and Zook are like exactly right.
Yeah,
right now.
I kind
We're
of
both
thought I'd be
together
alone
right
with
here.
the Giants.
I mean, I agree with you guys on all your picks, so it's this is interesting.
Well, thanks, Nick. Appreciate that. We're really asking for your opinion.
The lock will determine who wins this week.
I'm going to the Giants. I just think they're going to control the ball, and 6.5 is a lot of points for Tampa to be giving up. They're just not a great team. So, I'll take the Giants as well. Guys, before we get to our underdog pick of the week, let's go to almost a text line, the comment line here on Facebook. Zach Weldon texts in. He says, Miles Sanders, Philip Dorsett, Randall Cobb, Philip Lindsay, Jarvis Landry. Pick 2. It's a flex PPR. Thanks.
Okay. So, flex PPR.
Pick 2, however.
I'd go Jarvis.
Sanders, Dorsett, Cobb,
definitely
Lindsay,
throw
Landry.
Jarvis in there just because, Baker could give him one. I wouldn't go Randall Cobb, even though with Gallup out. Reasons earlier, I wouldn't go with Lindsey because Royce Freeman is the...
See, I maybe would.
Really?
Out of those guys, maybe Sanders.
I like Miles Sanders. I said last week that Miles Sanders would be a good pickup, and he didn't have that great of a game, but he still, as much of a crowded backfield as Philadelphia has, he is due for one of these breakout games eventually, and he could steal a touchdown. I go Sanders and Jarvis.
And I loved him coming out, Zach. I drafted him in season long in I think both of our fantasy leagues. So I think he's going to eventually take over that role. And you saw Jordan Howard was not used. He was used pretty sparingly. So I don't think Sanders is a bad play.
I would go out of this group. I think Jarvis is going to be tough against the Rams defense. That's my opinion. I would go with Philip Dorsett. With now Antonio Brown gone, that's going to open up things for him. I know you still got Edelman and Josh Gordon there, but I think Dorsett could have a couple nice catches, and I can see him
he's getting as many targets though.
He could get, I think, 4 receptions, 60 yards. So if you're looking for a quick 10 points, I think Dorsett could at least get that with Brown gone. But then Sanders is tough, and Philip Lindsay because those backfields are so crowded. You don't know who to pick.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
But I mean, it's a problem with a lot of these teams with crowded backfields, and you kind of just have to gamble on one of the guys and hope that they get the touchdown or that they get the good move in the end zone.
Kevin McClory says, Big Web, Brady jersey last week and today Mahomes. Que paso, amigo? I thought the city of St. Louis hates the Patriots and anything to do with Kansas City.
Hey, man.
That was terrible Spanish reading, by the way.
First week we didn't like the Patriots. We love the Patriots the rest of the year. And Mahomes, we always love Mahomes. Show me state. He's our guy. Missouri Chiefs. Let's go.
The Missouri Chiefs. Don't ever say that. We are not the Missouri Chiefs.
M-I-Z.
Z-O-U. Thank you. That's where it's at.
Yeah, huge win over South Carolina. Huge win.
Massive win over South Carolina for my Missouri Tigers.
Let's move on.
Shout out to DeSmet football, too, for being CBC on Friday.
That was on ESPN.
On ESPN for the first time since 2012. So shout out to Rob Steeples and the Spartans on that one.
All right, underdog pick of the week, boys. Big Web, or actually, sorry, Zook, you go first.
Underdog pick of the week. This is why I asked. I'm going to double down. I think it's kind of dangerous. Wish I didn't have to, but I'm on a lot of the favorites this week. So I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons. They are plus 1.5, I believe, 2.5. I know it's basically a pick 'em. I don't think the spread will come into play. That's why I like the Falcons so much. They are on the road again, as I mentioned, at Indianapolis, and so I think
Atlanta's plus 1.5 currently. Yes,
yeah,
that's where we're picking.
I think that this matchup plays to the Falcons' strengths. I think that they'll be able to get after Jacoby Brissett a little bit, and I think they have the personnel on defense to kind of keep Indy's weapons in check. They have a secondary that I think could slow down T.Y. Hilton a little bit. And on the offensive side of the ball, I just don't know if Indy will be able to slow down the all-stars that are in Atlanta's offense. I mean, I feel like I say that every week because the star power on the offensive side of the ball for them is just so big. But I do like them this week.
Guys, real quick, just want to make sure. So I think the line did move. It's actually 3.5 for the Rams, not 3. Does that change anything for you?
Nope.
Everybody still saying the same?
Yep.
I'm good.
Rams, okay.
Yep.
Cool. Nick, you're underdog.
Underdog going with Houston this week. Love Deshaun Watson here. Love the entire Texans offense in this game going up against the Chargers. I just think that I think it'll be a field goal game, and the Chargers may still win this. But I think that Houston will cover, and I look for Deshaun to have a big game after last week kind of it wasn't terrible, but wasn't great either. So give me the Texans as my underdog of the week.
Big Web?
My underdog of the week is the Detroit Lions, gentlemen.
Woohoo!
They hung in there last week strong against what I think is a pretty good football team in the Chargers. And Philly's off the rails a little bit with their injuries. Give me Detroit.
Good pick.
I tell you what, me and Zook really didn't call each other before. I'm also taking the Falcons. I
you
swear
guys
to
did this last week with Miami, though, and lost it. So
I'll take the Falcons. We are a perfect 6 for 6 right now on picks.
Want to watch the Falcons together?
Let's
today?
go, Zook. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. So I got Atlanta as well. I just believe in them. I think the spread's way too low, 1.5, as I mentioned. I think they're going to cover it, and I think they're gonna win by 7. So there we go. Both got Atlanta. And now it's time for the locks of the week. Reminder: Nick might be the king overall. I'm the king of the locks. I'm 2-0.
We're tied, dude.
Yeah, but I'm up. I'm just a little bit higher.
We're tied.
I'm a little bit higher.
Get out.
Zook 1-1. Big Web. We won't talk about it. So Zook,
talk to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Zook, your lock of the week.
So Big Web, I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles and lock them up.
Good luck.
So, if you look at the Lions, that game last week, they really should have lost it by like 13 points. You have the Austin Eckler fumble at the goal line. The Chargers bricked 2 field goals in that game. I went back and watched it in the middle of the week because we didn't watch much of that one noon here. We were watching, Green Bay, Minnesota, and some other games. But when I went back and watched the tone of the game, it didn't make me feel any better about the Lions' actual personnel or their team. I more felt like they just kind of lucked out because the Chargers did a Chargers thing more than the Lions actually took that game from them and actually won it. So I like Philadelphia. I think you're going to get a pissed-off Philly team at home at the Link. I don't see Detroit going in there and getting a dub. Despite the injuries for Philadelphia, I think they'll bounce back.
Nick?
Has the line moved yet on Chicago and Washington? We still at 4.5?
4.5.
Chicago 4.5 currently,
Chicago 4.5. Okay, sticking with my Chicago lock here. They had a massive win. Probably should not have been a win at all against Denver last week on an Eddie Pinheiro last-second field goal. So I think the Bears are riding high. I'm hoping Trubisky figures it out this week. He has looked just bad through 2 weeks. But the Bears have one of, if not the best defense in all of football, going against the Redskins, who they do have some underrated offensive weapons. Rookie Terry McLaurin. Is Peterson in this week? Is he still in?
Zach?
At running back, do you know?
I believe so.
Okay.
Zach?
No. Okay. Well,
Yeah, I mean, don't quote me. I haven't paid attention
I
to
mean,
the Redskins running back
Washington.
situation, but
The Redskins.
I think nothing's changed.
It's 4.5. I think the Bears will win it by at least a touchdown. Crossing my fingers that David Montgomery has a big game and the Bears offense figures it out.
Big what?
Boys, Kansas City forecast is cloudy, 69 degrees, still 50% at 2 o'clock, and now
Nice.
60% at 3 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
I am now going with the Kansas City Chiefs
For
and
your
the
lock?
new number for my lock of the week.
Is that right?
Yep.
Chiefs locking it up. Wow. Locking it up.
It's all about the weather.
That's the only reason.
It is all about the weather.
No more breakdown. That's it.
That's all I got.
Now
We've
explain
talked-
why you had the Washington Redskins earlier. Just explain that.
Washington, that is
Against the
good. I'm telling you right now,
Bears.
that's going to be a field goal game. Trubinsky is terrible. He
Who?
was
It's
like-
Trubisky.
How
It's
many names have you
I don't
messed
care
up
what
today?
his
It's not
name is.
Trubinsky.
Actually,
it's
I like that. That's
Trubisky.
Chicago style the way you say it. Yeah,
That's right.
I don't like
How
that
many-
Mitchell
that's
Trubinsky.
Trubisky.
Well, how do you say terrible quarterback so far this
Terrible
year?
quarterback. Terrible quarterback.
He hasn't been sharp, and Washington's been better than we thought. They're having a little trouble at quarterback. They're going back and forth, but they're still a solid football team. I think that's going to be a field goal game right there.
Da Bears.
The Bears.
For my lock, me and Zook not going perfect this week, just 6-7. I'm going to take the Rams minus 3.5. Really like that pick. I think the spread's extremely low. I know it's in Cleveland. I know the Browns are going to come to play. It's going to be back and forth. I think at the end, though, the Rams are just going to be too strong. And Baker, the touchdown maker, that was one of Barstool's shirts.
I
Pretty
like
cool.
that. That's good.
Barstool made one of those shirts. I think that he's not going to be able to keep up, and I like the Rams winning by a touchdown. So give me the Rammies. Again, I'm 2-0 in locks. Nick might be as well, but I'm a little bit more important, so take my pick. Rams minus 3.5.
The king is king for a reason. I'm 2-0, weeks 1, week 2. So select everything that I pick, and you'll win, guaranteed.
And, boys, that's going to do it, except I did not forget about Big Web. He's got his big
Thank you. I
Web bet
almost
of the week.
was going to remind you.
Prognostication.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you
Get
all
out the
know from
pencil.
earlier in the show, Big Web is $45 up to the $50 better so far this year.
Nice.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Gentlemen, we're going to throw $100 worth of wagers at you today, and they're both teasers. So we're teasing Green Bay, which right now I believe is even, so all Green Bay has to do is win the football game. We are taking the Detroit Lions plus the points, which I believe is 11 plus, because we're getting 7 points, so that's Detroit plus 11. We are taking the over in the Chiefs-Ravens due to the weather. That thing was at 51.5. We're going to take that down to 44.5, and we're taking the over. And we're taking the Minnesota Vikings, who are -9. We're taking them down to -2. That's a four-way parlay. Green Bay, Detroit, the Chiefs over, and Minnesota, 7-point teaser. You invest $50, it wins you $100.
All right, so Green Bay, again, even. Lions plus 11, over with the Chiefs and Ravens at 44.5 and Vikings -2, correct?
Right. One more, TJ. One more teaser.
Now, is that a 7-point teaser?
That's a 7-point
Okay.
teaser.
So don't parlay those on the normal spread.
Right. You
Okay.
got to do a 7-point teaser to make this work.
Okay.
But 50 pays you 100. Then one more teaser. We're going to stretch it out just a little bit. Those same teams plus the Chiefs and the Rams with 7-point teaser. Those same teams that I just mentioned plus the Chiefs and the Rams, 50 gets you 300.
Wow.
I really like that first teaser, Big Web. I mean, you talk about the Lions. They should be able to cover at least 11, you would think. That would be the one I'd be the most worried about. But the other ones, Packers should win that football game. And then I love the rest of them, too. So, yeah, that's interesting.
It'll be fun.
And we do have a reporter live on the ground in Kansas City on the field said it is dry there in Kansas City. So that's good news for you.
Good news for the over, good news for Big Web in Kansas City.
And because of the weather, Big Web, that over has probably moved down just because of the threat of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you're getting the number better. It should hit easier.
Now, I wondered, too, he's actually 2-0 when he wears, or I should say 1-0 so far when he wears his team, his biggest bets jersey or Jers shirt, whatever you call that.
Shirt, a jersey. TJ,
Jersey,
is
that's
the
what I
word-
was
is the
looking
word
for.
you're looking
Jersey,
Yes.
yeah.
See,
A
it's-
Jers
it's-
shirt.
It's all about pressure because you have to
Medium
win
jersey.
because of the
Medium.
cost of the jersey.
Yeah.
You have to win because otherwise you're in a hole with the cost of the jersey.
So you buying a shirt each week? Is that what's going on?
every week.
Are you really?
That's awesome.
Are you really doing that? I love it.
Yeah, we'll give it out to a listener every week.
That's gold.
Better watch that.
And I won't have anything to wear next
You
year.
better watch that.
That's amazing.
Dude, it's like the off the back stuff for baseball
Yeah,
games.
he's
Like, the
taking
Grizzlies
off his-
have their, jersey off the back thing. Big Web off the back after a podcast. Take his shirt.
signing it and throwing it into the crowd.
After a sweaty viewing of the noon game.
Man, that's beautiful stuff
Oh,
there.
yeah, it's got to be game warm while he
game warm.
watches his
Yeah,
wins.
see me at
He'll sign it for you.
Yeah, see me at 6:30.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in once again to the BOTB Football Show, live from Cafe Telegraph. Before we let you go, one more shout-out to our great sponsors, Cafe Telegraph here at 2650 Telegraph Road. If you were not able to come up here for the games. We'll be up here all day drinking beer, eating food, and hanging out. Also, shout-out to K. Roberts from Remax Gold, Family Finance Mortgage, and St. Louis Distillery. Find them online, stldistillery.com. Gentlemen, thank you so much for another great week, and let's get some wins today,
Absolutely.
baby.
Go Chiefs.
Can't wait to wear the crown in week 3.
All right, for Big Web, for Nick, for Zook, I'm TJ. See you next time.